Can you feel the weight of destiny pressing on this very moment? The universe has a way of revealing truths when we are ready to receive them, and the guidance of the divine never comes late. On August 17, 2025, a shift occurs, one so profound that it will shake the foundations of what you thought was permanent. I saw it clearly, and the vision came not from fear, but from clarity, from the illumination that God Himself chooses to pour into those who are awake to His will. It is a moment that will expose the hidden, remove what has been standing in darkness, and reveal the path forward in the light of truth. This is not simply about power changing hands. No, this is far greater than politics, far beyond the affairs of men. This is a lesson for every soul who believes in the forces that shape destiny, a reminder that nothing is permanent except the will of the divine. When the world looks to human strength, they miss the ultimate truth, that authority, influence, and control are never truly ours to hold. They are entrusted, and they can be withdrawn with a whisper from the heavens. On August 17, the veil lifts, and the divine hand moves decisively. I sensed the subtle tremors leading up to this day. You may not feel them yet, but the universe communicates with those who pay attention. A removal of power is not chaos, it is clarity. It is a cleansing, a recalibration of what is right and what must fall. Many are blinded by ambition, by ego, by attachment to fleeting symbols of control. Yet, in that very blindness lies the awakening for those who are willing to see beyond the surface. The divine shows us that no person, no title, no throne can resist the will of what is just and true. And as I received this revelation, I understood that August 17, 2025 is more than a date, it is a message for all of us. It is a call to awaken to the patterns of power, to the illusions that govern our daily lives, and to the courage required to stand in alignment with divine timing. The removal of one is a signal to the many that life is not dictated by fear, corruption, or manipulation. Life is dictated by alignment, by principle, by the unseen currents that guide our world with precision. This is the moment to observe, to reflect, to prepare, and to awaken. The energy of August 17 carries both revelation and liberation. It reminds us that the divine does not act randomly. Every movement is purposeful, every change intentional. Those who are awake will recognize it, those who are aware will understand its significance, and those who are willing will step forward into a new reality shaped by truth and clarity. Divine timing is a force that moves quietly, yet with absolute precision. It is not subject to human schedules, desires, or the frantic pace of the world around us. It flows like a river beneath the surface, invisible to those who only glance at what is seen, yet powerful enough to reshape everything in its path. To understand divine timing is to understand that nothing in life happens by accident, and no moment is truly wasted. Each event, each person, each decision aligns perfectly with a greater design, a plan that surpasses human comprehension. On August 17, 2025, this alignment becomes undeniable. It is a day that carries the weight of destiny, a day when the unseen currents of divine orchestration move decisively, removing what must fall and elevating what is meant to rise. Many live their lives believing that timing is random. They chase opportunities, struggle against obstacles, and measure their successes and failures by a human calendar. Yet divine timing is not measured by clocks or calendars. It is measured by readiness, by awareness, by the alignment of hearts and minds with what is true. Those who are awake feel it, even if they cannot explain it. There is a subtle vibration in the air, a pull toward what is meant to be, and a gentle but undeniable nudging away from what no longer serves the higher order. On this day, the divine does not merely intervene. It orchestrates a moment that will ripple through lives, nations, and the very fabric of reality. To embrace divine timing is to release the illusion of control. It is to recognize that the rise and fall of leaders, the shifts of power, the changes in circumstance, all are guided by something far greater than human ambition. When we resist, we create friction. When we surrender, we move in harmony with the currents of life. On August 17, the divine hand moves with clarity, removing what has overstayed its purpose, and teaching all who witness it the importance of patience and trust. This is a reminder that true power is never forced, it is never clung to. It flows naturally when the timing is perfect. Those who observe with awareness see the signs long before the moment arrives. They notice the subtle shifts in energy, the quiet preparation that precedes change. Divine timing is often invisible to the untrained eye, but it is always present. It operates on a level beyond what we can fully understand, yet its effects are undeniable. When the time is right, What must happen unfolds with inevitability, like the sun rising at dawn or the tide returning to the shore. This is the rhythm of life, the pulse of the universe, and the whisper of the divine guiding every moment with perfect precision. The fall of the unjust is a truth that echoes throughout history, yet it is often hidden from those who are blinded by appearances. Power, influence, and authority may seem permanent to the human eye, but they are fragile in the face of divine order. On August 17, 2025, this truth is revealed in a way that cannot be ignored. Those who have relied on manipulation, deceit, or corruption will find themselves removed not by human hands alone, but by the precise movement of a force far greater than ambition or fear. Justice, guided by divine wisdom, does not delay and it does not act arbitrarily. It observes, it measures, and when the time is ripe, it acts with perfect clarity. Many cling to positions of power thinking that their influence is unshakable. They believe that wealth, status, or fear can shield them from consequences. Yet, divine law surpasses all earthly schemes. The foundation of authority is not built on human cleverness, but on alignment with truth and integrity. When a leader strays into ego, greed, or corruption, they create an imbalance, a disruption in the natural order, and the universe responds. The energy of injustice cannot endure indefinitely. It will be removed, and what replaces it will be guided by higher wisdom. This removal is not a punishment. It is a correction, a recalibration of what is right and necessary for the greater good. The world often misinterprets the fall of the unjust as chaos or misfortune, but those who are attuned to the divine perspective see it as clarity. The removal of those who wield power without responsibility is a signal to all observers. Nothing is permanent except alignment with truth. On August 17, this signal becomes undeniable, and it serves as a lesson for those who are willing to learn. The fall of the unjust reminds us that influence cannot be taken for granted, that authority without accountability is a fragile construct, and that the divine has the final say in all matters of power and position. Those who hold positions of influence are watched closely by forces beyond human comprehension. Every decision, every action, every choice leaves an imprint on the energy that surrounds them. When their actions are misaligned with justice and righteousness, the natural law responds. The removal of unjust power is not merely an event, it is a revelation, a moment that exposes the truth of who is aligned with the higher purpose and who is not. It is a reminder to those who aspire to influence that true authority comes from integrity, service, and alignment with divine will. Even in moments of apparent triumph for the unjust, there are subtle signs of their eventual fall. Energy shifts, alliances weaken, and hidden currents of change begin to flow. Divine timing ensures that every removal occurs at the perfect moment, when it can bring the most clarity and the greatest alignment with justice. Those who witness it are called to observe, reflect, and align themselves with what is right, understanding that the universe always restores balance and that injustice can never endure when faced with the unwavering force of divine truth. Clarity through change is one of the most profound lessons life offers, yet it is often misunderstood. Change is not a disruption meant to break us, it is a revelation designed to awaken us. On August 17, 2025, a monumental shift occurs, and it brings with it a clarity that cannot be ignored. The removal of power, the shifting of influence, and the collapse of structures that once seemed permanent are not merely events, they are revelations. They show us the hidden truths that have long been obscured by illusion, ego, and attachment. True clarity comes not in moments of comfort, but in the midst of upheaval, when the world seems to tilt and all that was once familiar is rearranged before our eyes. Many resist change because it feels uncomfortable, unpredictable, or threatening. Yet, in resisting, they miss the hidden lessons it carries. Change is the mirror through which the divine reveals reality, and when it strikes with precision, it forces us to see what we could not see before. The removal of one who held power unjustly exposes the fragility of human constructs and the necessity of aligning with truth. It is in these moments that clarity emerges, stripping away pretenses, ambitions, and illusions to reveal the essence of what is real and lasting. On this day, the shifts that occur are more than political or personal. They are cosmic in nature. They reflect the movement of higher forces correcting imbalances, guiding energies toward harmony, and revealing patterns that were once invisible. Those who have eyes to see and hearts to understand will witness not chaos, but clarity. The energy of change illuminates the path for those who are willing to follow it. The removal of power is not punishment, but revelation. It forces a world caught in illusion to confront the truth, and it awakens individuals to their own alignment or misalignment with what is just and right. Clarity through change also teaches patience and discernment. It shows us that not every shift is immediately understandable, but every shift carries meaning. Those who panic, resist, or cling to old ways will struggle to see the lesson. Those who pause, observe, and reflect will discover insight that transcends the surface of events. Divine timing ensures that clarity arrives precisely when it is needed, often through circumstances that feel disruptive or uncomfortable. The removal of power is therefore not an end. It is a revelation, a clearing of the fog that allows the light of truth to penetrate and illuminate the world. Every act of change carries with it a lesson in perception. What once seemed permanent, secure, or untouchable is revealed to be temporary, fragile, and subject to forces beyond human control. The clarity that emerges is both humbling and empowering. It reminds us that true understanding comes not from clinging to appearances, but from observing the flow of life, recognizing the patterns, and trusting the guidance of forces greater than ourselves. Change is a teacher, and those who welcome it with awareness receive insights that are unavailable to those who remain blind to the unfolding truth. Awakening the observant is a principle that distinguishes those who move through life in alignment with truth from those who remain lost in illusion. The world is filled with distractions, noise, and deception, yet beneath the surface, the patterns of destiny unfold with perfect precision. On August 17, 2025, these patterns become unmistakable, revealing the removal of power and the shifts that are orchestrated by forces far beyond human comprehension. Those who are awake will sense the currents before the masses recognize them, feeling the subtle tremors of change and understanding their meaning. Awareness is not merely the act of seeing, it is the deep perception of energy, motive, and timing that allows one to navigate life with clarity and purpose. Many people are asleep to the subtleties of life. They react to events superficially, judging outcomes by appearances rather than perceiving the hidden forces at work. They are caught in the illusion that power, influence, and circumstance are permanent, failing to see that everything moves according to a higher order. The observant, however, are attuned to signals, signs, and the invisible guidance that precedes visible events. They recognize shifts in behavior, alignment, and energy, understanding that what is about to unfold has been in motion long before it becomes apparent. August 17 is such a moment, a revelation for those who are aware and a surprise for those who are not. The observant do not merely witness change, they interpret it with insight. They discern the truth beneath deception, the motive beneath appearance, and the inevitability beneath chaos. When power is removed from the unjust, when authority collapses under its own weight, the observant understands that this is not random. It is orchestrated by the divine pattern of balance and justice. The lesson is profound. Those who cultivate awareness gain foresight, and foresight allows them to move in harmony with destiny rather than being swept away by it. Being awake means recognizing the invisible currents that shape every moment, understanding the significance of each action, and responding with wisdom rather than fear. August 17, 2025 is a day that tests observation and discernment. Those who are asleep may see only turmoil, confusion, and loss, yet those who are awake see the unveiling of truth. The removal of power is a signal, a message from the universe that nothing hidden remains forever, and that the course of events is guided by justice and principle. The observant recognize that each disruption carries a purpose, each shift carries meaning, and each change offers insight. They see the energy of destiny in motion, understanding that every act of removal or realignment is part of a larger plan that ensures balance, clarity, and awakening. Awakening the observant is not simply about seeing the events of the world. It is about cultivating perception, understanding timing, and aligning oneself with the forces of justice and truth. It is about recognizing that human actions are temporary, but divine patterns are eternal. Those who choose awareness are prepared not by chance, but by the steady practice of perception, insight, and reflection. They recognize the signs before the world reacts, and they are ready to move with clarity when the moment of revelation arrives. Awareness becomes both protection and guidance, a lens through which the mysteries of life are revealed, and the energy of change is understood as an opportunity rather than a threat.